we were rocketed by the Taliban. We were staying in an army base, and I woke up one morning and there was a series of loud bangs. And I can remember thinking, I don't know who that chap is who's making those awful bangs, but I wish he'd shut up, because I'm trying to sleep. It was 6 o'clock in the morning and you could tell the sun hadn't come up properly. And the last one, bang! And when you've got incoming artillery, there's an increase, a thickening in the air, and then this tremendous bang, and then a bit of a shake of the ground. So you knew this was trouble. And the shell, it was actually a rocket, and it had landed about 75 meters from where we'd been sleeping and killed a soldier and wounded 2 others. But some of the stuff we filmed you cannot show on British television, but 2 army soldiers, one of whom had been beheaded, his watch was still ticking. Another guy, this is a roadblock, a Taliban roadblock, and by the roadblock there was a corpse lying on a bed, and the message goes out to to everybody: don't mess with us, or we'll kill you too. And the terror is real. People are really, truly afraid of them. And the most, in a sense, troubling thing is I went to a refugee camp and I met a girl, a refugee house where refugees were staying, a mud shack really. And this girl said, there was a book, an English alphabet. A is for apple, B is for butterfly. And she knew the English alphabet backwards. She was really bright. And at the end of it, she said, I want education. Well, not with the Taliban, she won't get it, because they've burnt down in Swat 170 girls' schools. And you look at this and you see when a soldier dies, and he was in the back of the helicopter as we flew back, and you just thought, is this war worth fighting? Is it worth this man's death and all the other lives, all the innocent civilians who'll be killed in the crossfire? Is it worth it? And I just think about that little girl who wants education and she won't get it, and you just have to, say that most people in the world believe that girls should be educated as boys are educated, and the idea that is wrong seems to me fundamentally untrue. We found the army had got they got hold of a kid who was 15. He spoke quite good English, and he said he'd been listening to a Bollywood film on his radio or whatever, and they'd caught him. And they said, come with us and we're going to train you. And if he hadn't come with them, he felt they were going to kill him. And they trained him up and said, you're going to be a suicide bomber. Now at one point the army attacked the training camp where he was staying, and he managed to run away and find the army's protection. He says he cannot go back to his family because he's still scared. But the idea that people are being, in particular, young teenage boys, 16, 17, 18-year-olds, are being brainwashed into blowing themselves up with as many people as possible is not an illusion, it's not fantasy, it's not propaganda, it's real. I've met one of these boys myself, and he said that he was being pushed into doing it. And thank God for him, it didn't happen. But I went to a place opposite a small army post, and the suicide bomber tried to blow that up, and he didn't hit the right target. He actually ended up blowing up a mosque, and next door to the mosque was a water pipe, and there were 6 kids queuing for water, and all 6 were killed. And the colonel I was with who was showing me this was a devout Muslim, and he said, this for me has nothing to do with Islam.